So you probably clicked on this video thinking it was going to be about the fresh Sonic and Shadow game leak that just dropped from Zippo. And while yes, we are going to talk about that, the main reason why I'm making this video is to just discuss what's next for the Sonic series. After 2 massive years for the franchise, we're going into 2024 with no games. We already have Sonic Prime Season 3, Sonic Movie 3, and the Knuckles spin-off series confirmed, but that's it. It kinda made me wonder how they were planning on evolving the series after the massive success of Sonic Frontiers. So let's just go over that Zippo leak real quick. I don't normally like covering leaks on the channel because stuff like this is very easy to fabricate, but Zippo has gotten a ton of things right in the past, but he's also gotten some things completely wrong, so please, I urge all of you to take this with a grain of salt. Anyway, on December 10th, Zippo made a post regarding Sega's new era announcement that they teased at the Game Awards. Sega has already teased a new Jet Set Radio, Crazy Taxi, Shinobi, Golden Axe, and Streets of Rage, all in a 90-second time frame, while also stating that more games are on the way as well. Now, it is cool that all of these franchises are getting reboots, but where's Sonic? Now, I understand that they just finished releasing 2 Sonic games in the span of a year, but there must be something else, right? Well, maybe there is after all. Zippo claims that there is going to be a brand new 3D Sonic game coming out in holiday 2024, starring Sonic and Shadow. However, this isn't going to be a massive high-budget open zone game like Sonic Frontiers. Instead, this is going to be on a much smaller scale, and it's going to be similar to games like Colors, Lost World Generations, and Forces, at least in terms of their scale. He also says it's being co-developed by Sonic Team with some help from Sega's shiny new Sapporo studio. Alright, so there's a lot to unpack here. If you ask me, all of this stuff is very likely to me. If they want to drop a small-scale 3D Sonic game with Shadow, then 2024 would be the perfect time to do so, considering that Sonic Movie 3 is dropping around that time as well. It would just be a good marketing strategy. Also, considering that Sega's new studio is helping with the project, that takes some of the weight off of Sonic Team's shoulders, because I bet at least some of the team is already at work at the next mainline Sonic game. As for the actual game itself, a new linear boost game is very exciting to me. I love the boost style of gameplay, however, I think the adventure formula would be a much better choice, especially since Shadow is going to be playable in this game as well, so it would kind of pay homage to SA2 in a way. But anyway, to answer the question, is this real? I mean, it could be. It's kinda weird because I feel like with the release of Superstars and Frontiers, it's kinda too early for another 3D Sonic game already, but if it's on a much smaller scale than Frontiers, then I'm not worried in the slightest. As long as Sega is allocating the correct amount of resources to the project, then we should be in good hands. And if it is true, I'm going to be very hyped for it. Iizuka has stated that he's been wanting Shadow to show up in more Sonic games since he has been noticeably absent from Superstars, Frontiers, and even Dream Team. If this new Sonic Boost game is real, then I think the perfect time to announce it would be either at Summer Game Fest or Sonic Central next year, but we'll just have to wait and see. But if that game isn't real, then what else could they do? Well, I think it's finally time for a new 2D modern Sonic Boost game. They haven't had one of these since the Sonic Rush series, and, well, I guess Generations 3DS, but that one was bad, so it doesn't count. Listen man, I've been wanting a new 2D Sonic Boost game for a very long time now, and then they announced Superstars. And then I fell into a deep state of depression. I know, Sonic Superstars was great and all, but the Sonic Rush series was just better if you ask me. This would also be a good chance to market the next Sonic movie by not only adding Shadow, but maybe adding Rouge, Amy, and some other characters that they plan on showing in the next movie. Also, it would be really neat if this game had sort of a hand-drawn anime style, if you get what I'm saying. I'm not an artist, so sorry I don't know the exact term for it. But come on, you can agree with me when I say that this would go exceptionally hard. It would give Sonic that unique visual flair that has been lacking in the series for a pretty long time now, arguably since Rush. But what about beyond 2024? What's next for 3D Sonic if that Zippo leak is indeed fake? Well, we can all see that they're trying to evolve the series with games like Frontiers, so I think it's safe to say that the next game is either going to be a direct follow-up to Frontiers, or at the very least a successor to that game that has its own story, new characters, and new levels, while improving the formula that was established in Frontiers. And yeah, I would prefer the latter option. As much as a Sonic Frontiers sequel would be cool, I think they would be better off not being constrained by the fact that the next game is going to be a sequel and not its own thing. I already mentioned this in one of my previous videos, but I would love it if they made a completely open world Sonic game that takes certain elements from Frontiers instead of having a repetitive loop and 4 separate mini zones to run through. I think it would be awesome to have one massive map that has multiple locations and environments mixed in. Now, of course, to do this, they would have to make the map gigantic to compensate for Sonic's speed, so there wouldn't be stuff to do at every turn. However, if they take the time to incorporate things like side quests and just other extra content like that outside of story progression, then that would be awesome. I wouldn't even be opposed to them bringing back the idea of the cyberspace levels, as long as the controls are good this time and the level environments are unique. But regardless of what they have planned for the Sonic series, I will be very excited. This whole new era initiative that Sega is doing has me very optimistic for the future of Sonic games, and of course the other Sega games as well. It seems now that Frontiers was just a small taste of what's to come in the near future for the Sonic series, and I honestly can't wait to see what's next. But for now, let's just get hyped for Sonic Movie 3. I mean, come on now, this is going to be fantastic. But that's going to end this one. Let me know what you all think about the next Sonic game in the comments down below, and do you think the Zippo leak is real? I would love to hear your thoughts. But that's all for me, so thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.